So, I'd like to invite you to explore thought. Thought. So, usually, thought generally is a uh, word, words, story, narrative, or images, pictures, right? There can be thought smells, there can be thought feelings in a certain sense, thought tastes. Like you can almost taste things in thought. But by and large, at least thoughts that seem to be uh, problematic and the stuff that's going on most of the time is a narrative, is stories, is words and concepts, and then images, which then lock into the body and cause it to feel real. It feels true. Um, but what I want to explore in this video is there control over thoughts? Do I have control over thoughts? So this is a question to contemplate. Do I have control over thoughts? Or is there an I that controls thoughts? Is there someone or something that controls thoughts? Is there any control? I think as soon as someone starts to meditate, they quickly learn that there's a lot of control missing, right? If the idea of meditation is, okay, sit down and just be present, be aware. People quickly notice, well, there's this thought stuff that keeps and pulling me away, and I'm thinking about that, and I'm not here at all. And if we had control over thought, we might just go like, okay, I'm gonna stop thinking for the next hour. Just turn it off. Just no more thinking. Um, and even if that's what we want to do, I'd like to stop thinking so I can just be here in the present. Um, we're not actually able to do that, you know. So I think people quickly get that they don't have, full control. But I think there's this part that still goes. But I think I got a little. I think there's something I can do about thought. There's something. There's something I can do. Um, there's an assumed control that's kind of mostly out of control, but a little bit there. Mm-hmm. Now the question here is that actually just a myth? Is that actually just a false assumption? Can you find control? Can you find that you have control? Can you find the controller? Can you control the next thought? Try this right now. That comes into your awareness. Can you control the next thought you generate? Ready, set, go. Okay, somewhat random, but the thought that appeared was giraffe and an image of a giraffe. Um, so, do you notice how thought just arises? Um, Now, thought interacts with the world, with conditioning, just like everything else. Like if there's a bird, if there's a bird and a cat comes and jumps at the bird flies away. So, for instance, if I am the cat and ask you now, think of a fruit. That first action, which I had no control over, it just came, may have caused a reaction over there, like the bird, which is that thought generated it. Thought maybe a fruit appeared or two. Maybe for me, plum, banana. Two fruits appeared. First plum, then banana. So thought is it's not that it's out of the world of conditioning. It's not that it's not interactive with the world, but control. Can you control what fruit you think of next? Think of another fruit. Right? Just another one popped up. Like for me, it was strawberry. You're not picking from all the fruits. Even if an image of many fruits showed up, that would be thought as an image. And you couldn't control which fruits were there. And even if you said, if you saw 5 fruits and you chose, for instance, strawberry, did you choose to choose strawberry? Did you have control over, I want to choose strawberry? Or did I want to choose strawberry just arise? And that's one of the very sneaky things about thought is it's always saying I. Because thought very much is it pretends to have control. It's very much about control. It's a lot of its game is control. So it's looking and it says I'm choosing strawberry. I am choosing the fruit strawberry. I'm doing that, says thought. But who controlled the thought? I am choosing that strawberry. And you can do this with anything, actually. Do you have control over anything? Is there any control? So really consider this, really look in the present moment now, examine thought until it's really seen clearly. Because as long as you think you have control over your thinking to any degree, you're going to be stuck. You're in the illusion of control. You're in. And even if you have the thought, I have no control, it doesn't necessarily mean you've fully seen it. You're on the way. You're starting to acknowledge. But the thought, I have no control, is not the recognition, I have no control necessarily. It may be, if there is the recognition, you could, thought is more of like a translator from recognition. Like if you drink orange juice and you say, it's sweet, you are first experiencing the sweetness and then thought translates. It's one of the useful things of thought. And then someone else can, if they know what sweet is, they can understand that if they speak English. So it's useful. It's a wonderful tool in that sense. But, I want a glass of orange juice. And then the glass of orange juice appears as an image in your head, and you find yourself walking to the kitchen to get orange juice. Did you have control over that? Did you control the thought and image to arise? And people are very frequently talking about how they do things that they don't really want to do. Like, I don't want to eat cake, but then I have the thought I want cake, and I see the cake, and then I go eat the cake. And then they get upset with themselves. It's one of the very humbling things is to see that I don't have control over this stuff. And even if I deeply kind of recognize what I want, what's important to me, it doesn't mean that I know what's going to happen. It doesn't mean that I know that I'm going to live in the way I want to just because I recognize it. Especially if we think we have control. Actually, much easier to live the way you want to live by what's true to you, if you acknowledge that I don't have control. Wow, I really like to meditate every morning. And I know I really like, it's almost sad. It's a little like sad. It's like, and even though I really know I'd like to do that, I don't know if it'll happen. but it's honest. I'd really like to exercise every day. I think it'd be really good for my body, but I don't actually know if it's going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean just, cast it aside and say, screw it. Recognize what you care about, but actually that you don't have control over this stuff, any of it. But you can see, you can notice, you can recognize. There's wisdom. You can see it, and seeing it is actually where the freedom is. Seeing that there's no control, seeing that there's no control over thought is freedom from thought. Seeing that there is no one who's thinking. There is no one who's thinking. Who's thinking? Find that one. It's exploration. Do it. Try to find the thinker. Try to find control. Be as ardent, as precise as you can be. Really look. And if you can't find the thinker, don't just assume, well, I can't find it because I'm looking in the wrong way. Consider maybe there isn't one. Maybe thought is as spontaneous as everything else. Wouldn't that be a surprise? Could you imagine that thought is just like everything else? It happens. Like the cloud is shaped like that, and the thought is shaped like that, and the wave is shaped like that, and the chipmunk is shaped like that. And it just arises and moves and subsides. Comes out of it comes out of creation and dies back into the creative source. So enjoy, and really, this is a really, I think, worthwhile exploration. So try to find control. Try to locate the controller. Can you find control? Can you find the controller?